Safety Committee, start, please.
What do you think about the insurance?
Start by approving the minutes from last month's meeting. Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes from last month's meeting? Do we have a motion to approve those minutes? Motion by Mr. Clay, second by Mr. Ward. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
First item on the agenda for previous meeting is local law G for 2018. Local law of the County of Albany, New York, to limit the length of time canines may be restrained outdoors to no more than 2 hours and continuous 12-hour period. I understand it's being tabled by the requested sponsor. Second one, local law R for 2018. Local law of the County of Albany, New York, prohibiting Albany County government from assisting in the investigation of citizenship or immigration status of any persons, and that's also being tabled by requested sponsor. Third one is resolution number 376 for 2018, public hearing on proposed local law R for 2018, and that's being requested to be tabled by requested sponsor. And we'll start with current business. The first item, number 4, is authorizing the submission of a grant application to the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding the Cyber Security Grant Program. Sure.
That's not me.
No. Okay.
CEO.
Is Mike here? Okay, we'll set that one aside for now. We'll have a motion to change order of business, and we'll go to number 5, which is the sheriff's. We have a motion to change order of business. Motion by Mr. Stevens, second by Mr. Kenny. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, so we'll start at number 5 then. Authorize the submission of a grant application to the New York State Canal Corporation regarding reimbursement for marine patrol services.
Mr. Chairman, this is to apply for an $8,000 grant to patrol our waterways. It's 25% match, but we're still able to recoup 75% of the funds. You know, we don't do too much out on the waterways, but 8,000 can be eaten up quick.
Any questions for the sheriff on that? Do we have a motion on it? Motion by Mr. Stevens, second by Mr. Ward. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 6, authorizing submission of a grant application to New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding technical rescue and urban search and rescue grant program.
As you know, Mr. Chairman, we have the search and rescue team. We also take part with Homeland Security and Emergency Services. This is to apply for a maximum of $150,000 for basically to purchase equipment used by our multidiscipline team, such as it could be ropes, trenches, pulleys, whatever the case may be, or trench gear, obviously. Again, there's no match on this one. It expires 8/31 of 21.
Anyone have any questions for Sheriff on that?
I think we should thank that same team made at least one major rescue in the last month.
Yeah, they don't get called that often, but you know what? When they get called, it's tough. And you know, that boy is still alive. He's expected to live. He dropped 150-foot vertical and then rolled out about another 350 to 400 feet. So it took us about 4.5 hours to get him up. It was the most technical one that I've seen in 30 years that we've been part of. And first of all, I've never seen anybody live after, you know, going over that escarpment. But it was good. You know, it was a perfect example of training paying off. You know.
Is he still in the hospital, Sheriff?
He's going to be in the hospital for quite some time. Yeah, he's basically the only thing that's not broken is his head. You know, but he took a beating, and you know, alcohol played a part in it, and drugs played a part in it. But he's alive.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Mr. Jones.
Sheriff, did you say this is also going to include trench rescue?
Yeah, trench. It's some of this gear gets spread out throughout other age. Like we're experts in a certain category. Colony Village is experts in trenching.
Yeah. Are you gonna work with Colony or take that over slowly?
No, I don't want to. I think they have enough resources to build it back up.
Okay.
But I have talked with Chief Kaiser a couple of times and Chief Paris, and you know, what I'd like to do ultimately is take a few of their people and just put them on our team if they're still interested in it. And then we're going to continue to spread our expertise out a little bit and try to start to acquire some skills in trenching. It looks easy, but it's not.
It's not, no.
But back around 08 or 09, I think it was, maybe a little later, we purchased a lot of trenching equipment for the Village of Colony. So they still have it, they use it in that big truck. So we're hoping just to kind of augment each other's team if we need to.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Sheriff?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second Mr. Ward, second Mr. Thomas. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yes. Number 7, authorizing the submission of a grant application to the United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance regarding the reimbursement for incarceration of criminal aliens.
Mr. Chairman, this is SCAP funding. I think this year we budgeted 25. It looks like we're going to get 58,000. They give it to us to offset costs. It can pretty much be used for anything in the facility regarding aliens.
Anyone have any questions for Sheriff?
How many ill?
Yeah,
Mr. Gold?
how many?
How many illegal immigrants?
Right now,
Yeah.
I don't accept them. I don't have any more.
You don't have any more?
No.
Mrs.
What
Wolfson?
happened? Why not?
We've stopped, well, basically ICE didn't like the way that we were operating by giving them some of the essential services to exist in life, like, legal counsel and medical care and things like that. So they started to pull them out, and then they tried to drop a few off periodically because of overcrowding in other facilities, but it's not worth it for us to get involved in it, so we pretty much have banned them from the facility.
Ms. Flanagan, question?
So what is this money for? This is what,
This is money that's coming in for other, it's illegal aliens. So we do get them periodically. They may come in with a criminal charge. All right, but we still have them. I'm talking about the actual borders
Oh,
of
okay.
immigrant borders.
thank you. Good.
Anyone else have any questions? We have a motion? Motion by Mr. Stevens, second by Mr. Clay. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, number 8, authorizing the submission of a grant application to New York State Division of Homeland Security Emergency Services Office of Interoperable and Emergency Communications regarding the Public Safety Answering Points Operation Grant Program.
This is our public safety answering point, also our 911 system. So basically, we hope to get upwards to $1 million. We never really know, but this is our authorization to file for it.
Does anyone have any questions for Sheriff on this? Motion from Mr. Ward, second by Mr. Flanagan. All in favor? Opposed? Last one, number 9, authorizing submission of grant application to New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding 2019 hazardous materials emergency preparedness grant. Sheriff?
This is our hazardous materials team for the Capital Region. It's a multi-discipline team. The grant basically is $5,100 per county for a total of $15,500. No match. This year what we're looking for, 4 gas meters, trailer to carry the props, 20-foot trailer, and a modified trailer for leak simulation, totaling the $15,500.
Have any questions for Sheriff on that? Have a motion? Motion. Mr. Clay, second by Mr. Ward. All in favor?
I can attempt to speak to item 4 if you're open to revisiting.
We're going to go back to item number 4, authorizing submission of a grant application to New York State Division of Homeland Security Emergency Services regarding the cyber security grant program.
Sure, thank you. This is annual grant, cybersecurity grant for about $50,000 that comes out from Homeland Security. Each year when it comes out, we sit down with our IT department and identify what's the most pressing need that, for this amount of money that you don't currently have in your budget that we could go after. And in this case, they identified the Palo Alto firewall system, which basically what that does, if you have an incident like what happened in the city earlier this year, this makes sure that if we're connected to Albany or whoever else that our systems are connected to, that things stay separate in that sort of incident so that we are not, negatively impacted by an incident at a affiliated department. So again, this is just authorization to apply for the grant, but we would ask authorization.
Does anyone have any questions?
I just,
Go ahead.
it's probably something totally, but when the cybersecurity, does the fact that, let's say I go online and I go into Albany County, the webpage, okay? is that the opening for these hackers or whatever you want? Is that how they get in?
I don't know if it's necessarily through the website. I think a lot of the times it is, these hackers have gotten very sophisticated at looking like something innocuous. So I'm, official government email from New York State emailing you and you say, okay, that looks legitimate. I'm gonna click on this, and if your guard happens to be down that day and they ask, okay, to see this important